You're watching NASCAR Tube. And now, your host, Evan Jones.
What is going on, you guys? NASCAR EJ coming to you once again from the NASCAR Tube. We're really not going to talk about racing today, but I do have something a little special planned that I was thinking about doing this week, and I think I will. I ran into a collection that a guy had. His name is Scott Harm. Lives over in Middle Tennessee area, and found out he didn't really need any of these anymore. So he donated them to me for the show, and so I could show them to you guys as well. But I ran into it's a huge collection. You're talking, I think around 50 1 by 24 scale diecast cars. Some hats and a whole lot of Dale Earnhardt. He was a big Dale Earnhardt fan, and a lot of these are Dale Earnhardt. But most of these are from the 80s and 90s era. Some from the early 2000s, and even some back from the late 70s. So I thought I'd share these with you. A lot of these have a lot of value to them. A lot of them don't. I'm going to show you the ones that I really like personally myself. Some of these will be high valued, but definitely let's get started looking at these. Okay, guys. So I know you can't see me here, but you can see the desk table here is what I'm going to show these on. Okay, so first off, I actually have two of these. It's a Dale Senior and Junior. If you remember any of these, the old TV guides that we used to get in the mail in ancient age. So first, these are 2002. Show the Dale Junior one first. These were, I don't know, I really looked these up, and they're really not that rare per se. They're rare, but they really don't hold a lot of value. I don't plan on selling any of this stuff. This is collector's items, and I really don't plan on selling any of it, just in case you're wondering, anything that you see here today. But I do intend on showing it for the show. The Legacy Dale Earnhardt Jr., it's all intact, showing a little age. I could tell these have been kept outside in totes and things and back shops, and it's just a lot of these books are all. It looks exactly. There's even an old Speed Channel ad. As I see what that is, if you heard that going off, it's my computer. But old Speed Channel ad, it's got Jeff Gordon on the front. Formula One, MotoGP. It's got a Winston Cup Wednesdays. It's even right there. It's even got Winston Cup if you can read that. And that was before even Nextel came in or Sprint. But really interesting to see. If you go back through the shows, even had Rocket Power on Nick. That's one of the shows comes on Wednesdays. So, really interesting book. You have the same thing here. It's just a Dale Senior edition. I don't know if these are the same date. Let's see. This one's February 16th to the 22nd. Yeah, they're the same. They're the same. And these were $2.49 originally. But I found them really interesting to see. So, next I have a hat here. And this is actually really rare, is what I'm finding out. And can't really find them online much, but I did one. And this is a brand new hat. Let's see, you can tell the bill's not even been on it. And this hat here is actually an old Dale Jarrett hat from back in the Quality Care days, back from his championship. And actually, if you look at the number on this is number 15. And that's really rare, actually. And it's even got the... this is a licensed product, officially licensed by NASCAR, right on the tag right there. So this is an official product. Yeah, right there. See, it's even got the badge on the back. That's the old official. Instead of the little chrome decal they have now, this was the badge. This was the decal they put on the back of those. Really interesting. This one here is probably the most valued hat that I have. And my lovely assistant here, my girlfriend, she'll say hi. There's her hand. There's her hand. She's going to hand me a lot of these hats here. I have a whole bunch of hats. Like, a lot of these aren't very worth much, but like this one right here. This one is not. It's brand new. It's official NASCAR product. Dale Jr. hat. I think it's probably back from 2007 or 8, right after he went to Hendrick Motorsports over from DEI. So this is I don't think this will be worth very much, but really interesting to have. Like I said, this guy who was a big Dale Earnhardt fan. I think he actually knew Dale Earnhardt, and really interesting stuff here. Let's see what else you got here. All right, this is a Lake Speed car. I don't think it'd be worth much, but I think this was actually from the Xfinity series, because that was a number from the Xfinity series as far as I remember. Doesn't say anything. It was a Cartoon Network Wacky Racing is the what's got on the side there. Don't remember a lot about Lake Speed. I know he's still around. I don't know if he still races or not, but if you know anything, just let me know in the comments. That'd be interesting to know. See what else you have there. All right, she's just handing me hats. Okay, here's an old. I don't really it doesn't have a name on it, but it looks like an old Davey Allison hat, and this could be worth something if it was an official licensed product, and doesn't look like it's an official licensed NASCAR product. So, but either way, still pretty cool. You can show that you were a Davey Allison fan. So, either way, you could support Larry McReynolds from that. Let's see what else you have. All right, now we got the old farmer's hat. Norm's Dwarf Cars, Drums, Pennsylvania. I don't know much about that hat, but it was in the bag with it. Oh man, there's a lot. These are dusty, but I call that the old farmer's hat. It's got the old backside to them. That's what my grandfather always wears out in the yard. So, see what else you got. All right, okay. Now this one's interesting. This is another. It's Speed. Yeah, it's another Lake Speed car hat, and must have loved Hooters. I don't know, but looks like, I don't know if these have been worn or not. I can't really tell. Like I said, these are not official licensed products from NASCAR, but it did have a. You know what? If you wear a hat that says spam on it, you're a true fan. See what else you have here. This is a okay. This is a Jeff Gordon hat. Doesn't look anything. I don't think it is a NASCAR. No, it is not. It is not a NASCAR official licensed product, but it is pretty cool. It's got his Rainbow DuPont car right on the front. Okay, now we got another Jeff Gordon hat. This one actually could be worth something. It is actually a. Let me show you the front of it there. This one doesn't look like it's been worn very much. The bill is bent, but that could be because it was. But it's very clean. It's a very clean hat. The back of it is a Nutmeg Racing hat. So I know Nutmeg was a big brand back in the 90s. So really interesting hat. Still not a NASCAR official licensed product, but still pretty interesting to see there. All right. Well, we got old AOL here back from the 90s. You got. This one looks like it's been worn to an extent, or it's just been sitting in a lot of dust. But it's just an AOL hat. AOL hat. American Online. What else you got here? Okay, we got a Mark Martin hat racing the number 60 car, and this is really interesting. This is really don't know much back from the 60. I don't know. It's got Roush Racing on the side, so it is a Roush Racing hat. But I really don't remember him driving the number 60 car, unless it was in the. I know Mark Martin raced a lot in the Xfinity series, or in the National Busch series back at the time. I know he raced a lot in it. That could have been the number, because Roush still races the number 60 car in the Xfinity series, and that looks pretty well almost like the same number. And I know Carl Edwards raced it many years during that time. All right, next we have Kendall Racing. I don't know much about that, but looks like a pretty neat hat. That number 42 on it. If you know anything about this hat, list it down in the comments. And if you list anything down in the comments, list the timing of when this hat was shown, or anything that you want to comment on. List the timing on that, so I know which one you're talking about, so I can just click on it and then go to it. Okay, this one here is Tide Racing, and I don't know if this is an old Ricky Craven hat, or it could be an old could be a Ricky Rudd hat back when he raced the number 5 for Hendrick. But to my guess, or it could be a Darrell Waltrip hat. Could be Darrell Waltrip as well. But I'm going to guess it's Ricky Craven because it looks like a newer design. It is not an official licensed product by NASCAR. But let's see, this is made by, well, I just know it's just made in the USA. That's all it says. So, interesting. But that's a pretty neat hat if you wanted to wear it. Piling up over here. Is that the last hat? Okay, now this one right here is I wanted to show you. This is probably the one worth the most. This is a hat from the inaugural Brickyard 400. I'm going to put this up closer to the camera so you can see it. But it is from the inaugural race, the Brickyard 400 in 1994. If you recall, who won that race was Jeff Gordon. And he's won it every 10 years. So, he won it last year on the 20th anniversary. And he won it in 2004 on the 10th anniversary of that race. So, really worth something there. I looked up a few. You really can't find a lot of them, the inaugural race hats. But that right there, what I would think would be worth some money. So, that's really all the hats I had, other than we got just a few Dale Jr. hats, but I'm not going to show you all those. A lot of Dale Jr. hats got a Budweiser hat, and real interesting thing. Now, this is an official NASCAR licensed product here, but this is from the old DEI days, and real interesting to see how a lot of these hats, how many hats they actually made for these. And that is an official licensed product, so you can see the chrome decal on that. And that's what they went to later instead of having the little badge like it was on the Jeff Gordon hat earlier. So next I want to show you is some old Dale Earnhardt and Dale Earnhardt Jr. cars I found. This is actually this is actually an All-Star game, baseball game from 2002 car. It's the special Monte Carlo. A lot of these are worth some money, is what I'm finding. These are really interesting. They actually hold some value. Disregard the cases. A lot of these are dirty. I don't plan on taking these out of the boxes if they're worth a lot of money. If they're not, I'll just take them out and display them. But I do want to work up some kind of a display. But the All-Star Dale Jr. car. It's even got baseball on Fox on the back. I know you can't really see it, but really interesting. I think I can actually zoom in here. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. You got NASCAR on Fox, or baseball on Fox, or whatever you have on there. Real interesting car. Which I said a lot of these are dusty, so not really easy to see, but really clean looking cars. They're all clean. All these are clean. Let's see what we got the next one here. Swap with you. Oh, I dropped it. All right. This one here is actually an Oreo. An Oreo and Ritz. And on the back, feels like you got Ricky Bobby here. You got Fig Newton right on the back instead on the windshield. But this is actually looks like it's from 2002 as well. Real interesting. You've got, and this actually looks like a Busch Series car. And I think all these Dale Jr. cars are actually Busch Series, because what I'm seeing on the decal right here on the side, it actually looks like a Busch Series decal. And I think all these are Busch Series decals. They're blue. If they're blue, that means they're Busch Series. So, really interesting. They're all Monte Carlos. Really clean cars. I mean, really clean cars. Let's see what's the next one here. Alright, next we have, it's the old, what is that? That's the Tasmanian Devil car from Dale Earnhardt Jr. as well. This is actually the Busch Series as well. On the front, you got to mind the logo there. But on the side, you had the Tasmanian Devil coming off the side. Had Action Collectible, The Choice of Champions. And on the back, you had a Bugs Bunny on the back trunk lid. It's pretty neat. Let's see. Next here, we got... Alright, we're going to swap this up here. Now we're going to have a Dale Earnhardt car. And this is actually the Busch Series car as well. This one here, it would actually be worth some money. This one has a different bottom case to it. This is no one that you don't plan on taking. I think you can... No, I guess it won't. But, this is a collectible. It's even got the Rebel collectible decal right on top. So, this one actually will be worth some. It's an Oreo car, Ritz. It's even got the Fig Newton just like the other one did. But I believe this will be worth some money here. But like I said, I'm not selling them. Only for display. Okay, here's the Dale Earnhardt Nutter Butter car. You got the Nilla wafers on the front. And you got Nutter Butter on the side. All these are actually Busch Series cars that they did race. On the back, you got Nilla wafers and Nutter Butter and Fig Newton on the back. Really interesting. You got the peanut on the back. It really looks interesting. These, I don't think these are too bad, but this one right here, I'm seeing, is probably the most worthy of all these cars. Next, we have... okay, this one will be worth some money, I believe. This is a Dale Earnhardt only car. It is the Atlanta 1996 special for the Olympics. It happened in Atlanta in 1996. And performance parts in the back. Got Goodwrench Quick Lube. That was the Chevrolet brand of parts and things. Let's see. We've got a lot of the sponsors. Mom Pops and Snap-on are on it. This is actually a Winston Cup car. This is meant for Winston Cup or Sprint Cup. As you can see, it's got the little red logo on it instead of the other one. But USA Olympics, Atlanta 1996 Olympics car. This one will probably be worth some as well. See, next we have the Coca-Cola car. Looks like this is a Winston Cup. This is the Cup Series car as well. Coca-Cola all the way around from the Dale Earnhardt car. They got AC Delco as well, Snap-on. On the back, you've got the Coca-Cola Racing family, and that does still exist today. So, pretty interesting to see all those still exist. We got cars falling over. We have so many Matchbox cars, and it's not even funny. Okay, this one here is this one will be special to have. This is actually a championship special. It looks like, and we look at it. I'm knocking the pop filter around here. This has actually got the decal on the side. Champions, Winston Cup champion, 1980, 86, 87, 90, 91, 92, 91, and 93, and 94. And this is the Dale Earnhardt special. This one will probably be worth some. It says the Victory Lap NASCAR Winston Cup. I'm reading the front of the hood here. NASCAR Winston Cup Series 1971 to 2003. And that's really interesting to see how NASCAR Winston Cup champion written on the side. The front of that car is really neat. It's all silver. Really, really beautiful car. And this doesn't even have... I mean, of course this car didn't race. But it doesn't even have the these series sponsor on the side. So really interesting. Really interesting. Got a signature right on the back deck lid. So really interesting. Okay, so now I have an actual Richard Petty. It's got his car, and this one here would probably be worth something. Let me zoom out on this. I'm a little too far zoomed in. Okay, here we go. Don't mind all this over. We're getting to that in just a second. But I figured I'd show you this real quick. It is actually a 1/24 scale die-cast replica of a pit stop showcase. And this would be one that you do not take out of the box. This will, I believe this will actually, and this is not just a piece of plastic covering. This is actually hard plastic. It's actually got like it's almost like plexiglass that goes over top of that. And it is from Racing Champions, so this will actually be worth some money, I believe. And that's just it. And like I said, they're very dusty, as you can see on top. I mean, they've been just sitting for a long time. But this one would be one that you do not take out of the box. So here you go, Chelsea. That one. So now we're going to get to these. These are actually really interesting. I don't think they'd really be worth a whole lot. If you've been down to Talladega, down at the International Motorsports Hall of Fame down there, you'll see a lot of these paintings, and I believe, don't hold me against it, but I believe that a lot of these paintings are actually in the building. Of course, these are replicas as well. Yeah, let me show you this one first. This is actually another pit road replica of this is a 1x100 scale, I believe. And as you see, it only had $7 on this, but I don't know if he got that. It looks like it came from a store, but like I said, no telling how many times he bought it. But you could get these in a whole bunch of different, here, let me hold this up to you straight so you can see that, just like that. And then if you flip it on the back, you can see all the other ones that you can have. And really interesting setups that you have. But going back to this, is what I found out, that if you see a lot of these paintings, and if you're wondering who does these, and it's got a little diecast car, this one's just like a regular Dale Earnhardt diecast car. But if you see, let me zoom in on this so you can see the actual painting itself. There you go. You can see that's a special Daytona 500, which you know he only won that 1 year in 1998. Which was written, and it shows how they all lined up on pit road in the back. I don't know if you remember all that, but that was a really special moment. And this would be something you could hang up on the wall, and this actually mounts to the frame, so you could hold the car on there as well. But really interesting. But if you're wondering who does these, if you flip on the back, Sam Bass does these. And if you recall who Sam Bass is, if that thing will focus. It's not focusing very well. Sam Bass is the guy, and since I'm from the Nashville area, I remember going to the Nashville Super Speedway races, and this is where I first heard of him. He created the trophy for the special painting of the trophies at Nashville Super Speedway, because you know when you won the race, you want a Les Paul Gibson Les Paul guitar, specially painted by Sam Bass himself. And these things would go. I mean, they are so rare just because they are specially painted. And I know he does a painting every year for the Coca-Cola 600, which is this weekend. He does a painting. His studio is actually right next to Charlotte Motor Speedway. If you haven't been to that, you ought to go. I've never been myself, and I really want to go, but I know it's right around the speedway up there itself. But he's got a whole gallery of his paintings. And I don't know if you recall, if you don't remember these guitars that they used to make at Nashville Super Speedway, Kyle Busch busted one year after he won the race in an Xfinity race. He got out of the car and decided to bust the guitar and slam it down on the ground like he did. And he got so many, which I don't think anybody was happy about it. Didn't give him a prop or anything, but he smashed that guitar. And as far as I remember, Sam Bass was not too happy with him. But yeah, this is really interesting stuff. And this is actually one from the Daytona 500. This was actually just another one that he had. This was just one that he painted for Dale Earnhardt. This was in his Wrangler car that he had. Had an old wanted poster of him, and had just some Dale Earnhardt pictures of him there. And this one I don't think this one would be as rare as this one down here with the Daytona 500, but still really interesting to see those. There's another one here that I had. Where'd it go? No, not that one. This one right here. This one is probably my favorite of all of them. And this is a 1992 special edition from Alan Kulwicki when he won the championship in 1992. And I wasn't living while Alan Kulwicki was alive. He died in 93 in a plane crash at Bristol. But I think if I was in the early 90s, Alan Kulwicki would have been my favorite driver. And he won in Atlanta at the final race of the season. And there's a picture, and there's a painting of Alan Kulwicki and the number 7 Hooters car, the Hooters Thunderbird that they raced in the Cup Series, where he won his championship in '92 against Bill Elliott. And if you haven't studied that season, that's a really interesting season to study. So check that out. That is a really interesting painting. It shows the car, Alan Kulwicki, going down the speedway, and in the background you see the Winston Cup trophy in the back. Real interesting. And like I said, in the back of these, all done by Sam Bass. So real interesting little things I have here with the frame and then the cars as well. This one here and the Daytona 500 one with Dale Earnhardt would have probably been will probably be the most valued ones here. But overall, out of all the things that I've gotten, this is actually my favorite of all of them. Alright, so now I have a few more things here. Let's get started with this one right here. And this is actually a 3-pack of the DEI cars. And as far as I know, this is 2001 because it did have the stripes down the car. So 2001 editions. You have Michael Waltrip, Steve Park, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. The 3 DEI cars. I don't know how much this would actually be valued as, but it's really interesting to see these. You can collect the actual teams itself from Winner Circle. And really interesting to see that as well. But 3 DEI cars, and that makes me think of the 2001 Daytona 500, so really special. Let's go on to this one here. We have the old Dale Earnhardt back from the, I don't know if it, yeah, 1979, so late 70s. This is actually Dale Earnhardt. I believe it was his first year racing. Don't hold me against that, but I believe it was his first year or the second year in the actual number 2 car. And the number 2 Wrangler car, but it doesn't have Wrangler on it. Actually, I just noticed that. It's the 1979 Hodgdon Mike Curb Oldsmobile. And it's actually got a little poster in the background to put that up on there as well. It's actually a lifetime series. I don't know if that means anything, but really interesting to see that. Next, we have another Dale Earnhardt. Like I said, this is a lot of Dale Earnhardt cars, but when we get to the big diecast cars, there's really not. I don't know if I want to put all these in one video because there's just so many. I'm not showing near. I'm telling you right now, I'm not showing near everything that I have. I didn't even show all the hats that I had. So this is actually a 2000 edition Dale Earnhardt. I don't know if we ever raced this or not, but it does actually look pretty interesting. Let me zoom in on this so you can see what I'm talking about. This is actually, it's a rainbow-colored Goodwrench. Yeah, Goodwrench Service, GM Goodwrench Service car. It's rainbowed, and I don't know anything about it, but it's from the picture, it does look like he did race that at least once from 2000. So that was before he actually died. Going on to this one. Yeah, let me see that one too. Just put it up there. This one's actually the 1956 pink Ford Victoria that Dale Earnhardt owned, the stock car series. I believe Ralph Earnhardt actually raced this. Don't hold me against it, but it is from the Dale Earnhardt Lifetime series. I'm thinking this will actually be probably worth some, but really interesting to see. I mean, all these are sealed. That just amazes me how all these are sealed, not taken out of the packages. This guy really was a true NASCAR fan, and I'm really excited that I have that. Okay, this next one here, let's go to that one last. Let's see. This is actually the old Intrepid's test team. It was actually, I don't know if this was even working thing, but I thought it was cool because it actually did have the hood inside the package itself. So not only you could show the little Intrepid car on the back, it's a Dodge test team. A lot of these, I actually have a lot of the prime cars that have just different cars, but they look like they're just primed. And I actually have a lot of those, but I don't think they'd be worth anything much. But this is kind of cool because it did have the hood, so I thought I might show that. Next, I have this one here is what I really find. I think this is really neat. This is a 1994 Premier Edition New Hampshire Motor Speedway limited edition. This is one of 7,033. Only 7,033 of these made. It's a Harry Gant car, and if you look on the back, it has his signature on it. So he actually autographed this actual piece. So this one actually I think would be worse than money. I did find some online, but none of them are actually the same. I found a lot of Pocono editions. There's a lot of Pocono editions, but I still have yet to found a New Hampshire limited edition, one of 7,033 Harry Gant cars. And the interesting thing is, you look on the back there, it says Premier Edition 1 of 64 die-cast replica. Each package individually numbered, individually sold. It is embossed collector's card, 2-piece rubber tires, 100% Tampo printed graphics, whatever that means, and it has fully detailed interior. Detailed interior, so that is really interesting. It's even got the card in the back. It looks like it's falling out of place back here, but really interesting. I'm thinking this would actually be worth some money. Do not take this out of the package, is what I'm saying. So, really interesting. I think we can clean a lot of these up and then show them on a shelf. But well, I'm just really happy that I see all this. This is just so amazing to me. But this is actually a collector's car, and this actually has a spot for the driver's signature, so that's pretty interesting itself as well. So let's see, and that's all we had. So let's get some more things up here. Okay, so now what I have and I don't really know who this is. I thought it almost looked like it's Ernie Irvan, but I don't remember him driving the number 36 car. But this actually is a Pontiac. It's the actual Pontiac 36 car. M&M's. So really interesting. This is actually a special edition car. And I would have thought it would have been Ken Schrader myself, but it wasn't. So really interesting here. Actually, hold off on what you got there. I'm going to show you this one. This was actually one that I found. This was actually a Ernie Irvan as well. 28 car. This is actually before Baby Allison had it, looked like. This is actually, like I said, I had a lot of the prime cars. That was a prime car right there, so found that really interesting. Ernie Irvan, Robert Yates Racing, had Robert Yates Racing on it. Texaco was the sponsor, number 28, Ford Thunderbird. Had his birth date, and he's from Salinas, Salinas, I can't really pronounce that, California. Don't crucify me in the comments because I can't pronounce that. But I'm from Tennessee, of course. We don't have northern accents. But it's even got the 1997 NASCAR Race Series schedule. If you recall, Ernie Irvan had a wreck at Michigan that injured him, and then he later had a wreck later on that he finally just decided not to race anymore. So, real interesting there. Here, swap with me. Put that over there somewhere, I think. Next I have, which is one of my favorite ones so far. I'm just taking off just random ones out of the stack. There's so many of them that they're just stacked so far. I'm not going to near get to a lot of the ones that I want to, but this is a Darrell Waltrip. I'll post a picture here in a minute of the cars that I have just stacked up in my office here. But this is a Western Auto Darrell Waltrip car that was number 17. This is probably one of the most cars that people recognize Darrell Waltrip from the first place. But real interesting. Had a tough one by Delco Exxon Superflow. It was a Cup Series car. That was before even it had Cup Series on the actual car itself. But Western Auto, and real interesting. I really like this car. This would be one that I don't think I would take out of the box until I really found what the value was. But the decals on it look like they're aging and they're coming off. So I really don't know. But it is in mint condition. It's just aged inside the box. Because I can tell just the decals are coming off a little bit. But let's see what we got next here. We got... Okay, this is actually another... it doesn't say special edition. But this is a Darrell Waltrip car. Which we know Darrell Waltrip did not race during the time that the Taurus was out. But number 66 Big K car. Just has NASCAR race car on it. Does not have the series. And I would imagine it would be Cup. Kmart Racing. Does not have the Racing Champions 10th anniversary on it. That's just what it says. So, this is actually a 10th anniversary setup, I think is what it is. It says the Racing Originals. 1989, 10 years through 1999. So, wow, they're, what, 26 now? So, well, yeah, 26. So, yeah, this real interesting car there. But that would be one that I would think I would take out of the box. I don't think it'd be worth a whole lot. But real interesting. Never, which we know Darrell Waltrip did. It has his name on top of the door. So, really interesting car there. Let's see what we got next. Okay, what is this one? We've got, oh, okay, this is actually a Ricky Rudd car, number 5. As you know, we had a hat a while ago, but I still think it's a Ricky Craven hat. But Ricky Rudd raced the number 5 tag car, and real interesting. Doesn't look like, I don't think really this would be worth a whole lot, but it is a replica, of course. On the back of these boxes, it's really kind of interesting because they list all the drivers on here. I'll just read some of these off. Bobby Allison, Davey Allison, Brett Bodine, Jeff Bodine, Todd Bodine, Ken Burchard, Chuck Brown. Chuck Bowen. I said Chuck Brown. Wally Dallenbach is on here. I know I got a Wally Dallenbach car. Bill Elliott, AJ Foyt, one of my favorite race car drivers ever. Ernie Irvin, Dale Jarrett, Tracy Leslie, Sterling Marlin, Mark Martin, Rick Mass, J.D. McDuffie. Got a whole lot of J.D. McDuffie cars. Kyle Petty, Larry Pearson, Phil Parsons, Ted Musgrave. Got a few Ted Musgrave. Jim Sauter, Ken Schrader, Morgan Shepard, Dick Trickle, which we know Dick Trickle just died back a couple years ago, or maybe even last year. Big National Series driver. Michael Waltrip, Darrell Waltrip, Mike Wallace, Rusty Wallace, Rick Wilson, Bill Vetturini, Kel Yarborough. There's just a whole lot of drivers that you can collect. That's just a few. Bobby Hamilton, Bobby Labonte, Terry Labonte's got all the Labont's. Derek Cope, I got a few Derek Cope cars. So really interesting. I don't really remember Ricky Rudd driving the number 5 car. So I guess it was a Hendrick car if he did race it, But real interesting there. Let's see. Next we have is also a Harry Gant car. Now this one I think would be worth some money. But like I said again, the stickers are starting to come off of it just because aging inside the box. Real interesting to see. This is the same car as what we had in the little one that had the autograph on it. So real interesting there as well. So we have one more here, and this is actually the Jeff Gordon car, and I think this would probably be one of the most worth ones. This is 1993 edition. That's what it says on here on the box, 1993. So, yeah, and this is something really worth, and it's the rainbow car, one of the most recognized race cars in NASCAR ever to this date. And now with Jeff Gordon being his last year in 2015, last full season, this car, I think, I don't think it'd be worth much now, but I would dare not take it out of the box because I'm thinking that in the next few years, this will actually be worth a whole lot of money. But like I said, I'm not selling it. So, real interesting car as well. But that's really all I have here. Let's see. Let's go back up to me. So anyway, guys, that's going to be it for today. If you would like to see more, up here, sorry, it's a side drawing. Up here are some pictures that I took just a while ago that are actually of all the boxes there. It just shows you how magnitude this collection is that I've ran into. So, like I said, thanks to Scott Harm, the guy who donated this to me. Really appreciate it. Really, I was like a kid at Christmas when I got them. I was, this is crazy. Yeah, but there's just so many things that are valuable in this that I would think that that would be good. And to get these in a good home to where you're not going to have kids running around playing with them, getting dirty in the dirt. These cars are getting collectible, and I think that's great that we actually have people that are actually willing to actually display them, to keep them up somewhere. And I'm not looking to make money off of them. I am thoroughly enjoy the sport. It's a passion of mine. So displaying these and showing them, and they're collectors. A lot of these are collectible items. Even the little Hot Wheel Matchbox cars, so real interesting stuff. But real quick, I want to talk about the All-Star race for a second. Denny Hamlin did get the race won. Man, that was just a fun race. A lot better than last year's. And especially the year before. The year before was terrible. But Denny Hamlin did win. And if you got to watch qualifying, that was really exciting. So, but anyway, guys, if you like this video, share the video. Spread the channel out. Send it to your friends. Invite them on Facebook, Twitter. Still hadn't heard anything about Facebook. Tell me what you think about a Facebook page. But well, I'm just really happy that about all these diecast cards. I actually ran into them about a week ago, a little over a week ago, and I've known about them longer than that, but just finally got them, and well, I was really happy to get them. They're so neat to have, and I'm going to turn this off because this lighting is getting really hot. So as you can tell my face, I'm getting red. This is really hot sitting here with all these lights on. But I'm going to let you go. And as always, y'all have a nice day.